Where does the internal team of a company come in?
Well, that's where you begin.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Hint, hint, I'm a Richard Branson fan, and if you're in marketing and you're not, you really need to go study the guy. For me, it all begins internally with your own people, because if they actually don't believe the message, they don't convey it. It's that simple. So one of the hardest things for executives to do, and I know I've sat in enough boardrooms, is to listen. But if you do it well and you listen to all of your people and you start there with CX, you find out what the customer really wants. And, you know, just adding on to what Mark was saying, I think a lot of the change in Australia came from fear. And I worked for an organisation that turned over 250 million in Australia in the 90s, so circa $1 billion today. I took over what was left of it about 5 years ago for the company I was running. And we had this conversation yesterday, who was Google? Who was Uber? Who was Apple? So, 100 years ago, whoever was at the top of the tree was still going to be at the top of the tree the next 5 years, the next 5 years, the next 5 years. But now the whole audience has changed and the audience power has changed. And the power of those people that work for you is absolutely enormous. I used to walk past my staff all the time, and if they weren't sort of like smiling, I'm not talking about 24/7, but I'd actually grab them and go, hey, what's up? You're having a bad day. Because every time they picked up the phone, that was the message they gave. And that's the customer experience.